Okay, today is May 17, 2015. Hope everybody's enjoying the weekend. Let's take a look at the market here. First of all, we're looking at the S&P 500. As you can see, S&P 500 closed at a consecutive all-time high on Thursday and Friday, and still appear to be on a rising trend here. So, although that it got a little bit of a NR7 and also a little bit of a doji type of a candle. So the things that to keep an eye on tomorrow when it open is to see what the price action is, because there's a possibility if we close down on a down candle without taking out the high here, then we'd probably be forming a some sort of a evening star type of pattern. Then we could expect a little bit of a pullback and possibly coming back and test this trend line, or even come back down at this particular low here somewhere around 2085. So the key is to see how it opened and how it play out. It could also be we could open with a gap up and then fade it down all day and then close down. So then we have a down candle, and that will engulf this particular small NR7. Then that would also be a sign that we could see a little bit of a pullback. But if we close at another new all-time high, then that will be positive, and we're basically looking for a further high. And the level that right now on a watch, we basically was looking at this particular Fibonacci retracement here, somewhere around this level. Let me just line this up. And essentially, we're looking at this 127 somewhere around the 2157 all the way up to the 2200 at the 161. Essentially, is this upper trend line here on this price channel. So we're still kind of on the lookout for those level, although it's not going to go straight up, but we'll basically still tagging these level here as a potential target. Then we're looking at the Dow Jones Industrial. You see the Dow Jones did not close at a new all-time high. It got close, so it's still a little distant away, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that get tagged, either tomorrow or early, this week here as trading resume. So again, it got a little bit of an NR7 type of candle, although it's a green candle. Right now, we still could possibly see a little bit of a pull back on Monday. Then we gotta keep an eye on the pattern here to see. I mean the candle pattern to see what the near-term price action might be, because we could see a pullback, and it could pull back to this level here. This pivot low here somewhere around this 1800, or could come back down to this range. But probably if it going to come down, it probably come down to this 17,750 area. But that's going to be a little bit of a spooky pullback if it does come down this far. I do see this thing going to continue to move up. The troublesome part of the market is the Dow Jones Transportation. Although we got a little pop on Friday, but it's still pretty distant away from its all-time high here made back in December 29 of last year. So until this transportation come back up to the upper level of this trading range, then there would be some I would be really cautious about the Dow hitting new high and how far it could go. So I have to monitor that carefully. Now, there could be a possibility, even though the Dow Jones Industrial continue to make new high, the transportation could come up and eventually catch up and make new high, and that would be a good sign, because that will signal to us that the Dow Jones Industrial, move has not terminated or coming to an end yet, because it will have a further high, newer high to be made. So that could be a positive development. But again, we have to see how this thing play out, because it could, one possibility is that trend line here could come up, then bump up this resistance, and then it reverses itself, basically come down and break this. Then now once we break this range, then we could be looking at it to possibly retrace back to the October low here. So that's something to keep an eye on, is the transportation. The New York Composite also made a new high along with the S&P 500 last week. And looking at this thing, again, it's continued to show strength, similarly to the S&P 500. Again, because we saw this little bit of a hangman type of candle, even though it's a green candle, we have to be on the lookout for a possible pullback, a pattern type of a signal to tell us that it might be coming back down and we test some of these pivot level. And then on NASDAQ 100, the NASDAQ 100 came back up and we took this pivot high here, this March pivot high, which is a good sign. So right now we basically want to see it hold above that level and make a push up to this multi-year high. I still kind of expecting this index to take out the .com high. So there's a little bit more distance to go. Of course, it's not going to go straight up, but I expect this thing to make new high here. And then on the Russell could be a little bit of a strange index to watch in the coming days, because unless it could come up and take out the all-time high, there is that possibility that it could come up a little bit and maybe get up to this resistance here, this pivot resistance, then pull back. Then all of a sudden, people start talking about this head and shoulder pattern here. Right? So it's got to be watch out for that. And if this head and shoulder does form and play itself out, then there's a good possibility it could come back and test these pivot low here. Okay, so the Russell is something to watch because of the biotech. Some of the biotech is being sold off recently. So you can see this thing is kind of lagging from the S&P 500. So that's something to keep an eye on. So that's basically the market update, and put up a separate video on talk about some of the stock. So enjoy the rest of your weekend.